Woman, eh. Woman, eh. Woman, asalo una ma woman demo. Asalo una ma woman there for all over the world. Asalo una. For whichever place una dey una dey watch the video. Whether una dey na for farm, or una dey for market, or una dey for work, or una dey for house, or una dey for motor dey drive go some place dey listen this video. Asalo una o. Una welcome for MyTake. My name na Gina F. Today I will talk about the secret to happy marriage part 4, which is do not let the heat cool down. Do not let the heat cool down. Very important. But before I go on, please, if you don't yet follow me or if you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please take a minute and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and share. To go to my YouTube channel, all you need to do is go to the search button in YouTube and type MyTake by Gina F. Then you will see my videos there. Leave me a comment. Let me know what is your secret to your happy marriage. Type it in the comment section below. I really want to know what is your secret to your happy marriage. Thank you all so much. Now, let's talk about it. Today, the secret to happy marriage is do not let the heat on your relationship cools down. Yes. Do not let that fire that is burning between you and your spouse cool down. Never, never. Wait to be that fire. That fire and that love, that attraction, that feeling, that irresistible feeling that when you see them, you want to hold them, you want to kiss them, you want to do everything to them, you want to make love with them, you just want to have them. That feeling is very important. That fire, that desire, that mutual desire is very important in a relationship. I know it's something we don't talk about it all the time, but I am talking about it because it is very important. Yes, it is very important. That romantic thing where they between you and husband always get to be there. Because once when I leave that heat cool down and cool down and cool down and cool down, before you know it, your relationship will be going apart. The more cooler the heat, the more apart away you are with your spouse. Believe you or not, fact checked. Yes, we are sexual beings and we need that as well. Not only that, we need fulfill love, we need fulfill cherish, we need fulfill alive with our spouse. We need to be in a relationship with our spouse. Because we get married doesn't mean we stop dating them. They are still our lover. They are still our person that drives us. They are still that person that is irresistible. And we want to maintain that thing that we have with them. That's what I'm talking about. We want to maintain it. I'm talking in this video because so many times, in so many occasions, when we get married, we tend to feel like, hey, we have them now. So, okay, what next? What next is that we have babies, we clean the house, we make them good food, we take care of all their family, and we forget one important thing, their emotional needs. We forget that. We forget their emotional needs, we forget their sexual needs. We forget that they are humans, they still need to be loved, they still need to be pampered, they still need to be cared, they still need to feel attractive. We forget that. And that is very important in a relationship. Once you start feeling unattractive to somebody or you feel like that person doesn't feel attractive, it lowers down your self-esteem and makes you not be vibrant. That is why we want to make sure of that. I know, so when we get married, we will take care of that picking them, we will take care of the house, we will take care of the in-laws, we will take care of everybody. Yes, we are supposed to do that and we will do that. But even though we are doing all that, we still want to make sure that that attraction between us is still there. It's still hot. That irresistible feeling is still there. That heat, that burn between us is still there. Because once we make those things them die down, sometimes, my sister, every other thing you are doing will not work. It will not keep them at home. No, it will not. You can clean the house all you want. You can cook all the good food. You can take care of the children all you want. But if you are not meeting that need, they will still go out there. That is what I'm talking about. We want to make sure that we balance things up. We want to make sure that their need is still there. Just like the men, they want to make sure that their woman in need is still there. I always say, do a heat check. Do a heat check. Time to time, do a heat check. Make sure that thing is still there. That burn, that desire, yearn is still there. And anytime you do your heat check, my sister, and you don't see it, make sure that problem is addressed, because it is a problem. It might not be a problem that you guys are not fighting right now, but it is a problem to come. So you want to make sure that once you realize that the flame is no more burning well, that you address it before all the flame dies down. You want to address it. And why you want to address it? Because, again, like I tell you now, the cooler you guys are, the farther away you guys will be. You guys want to have that relationship. The fact that you are married doesn't mean you still are not dating your husband. He is still your date. He is your date, in fact, for every night. He is your date for every occasion. He is your date for every church service. He is your date for every time. So you are still dating your husband. Remember that. Just he is your date on every day. So you want to make sure that he is still your date. You still have that relationship with him. That is what I'm talking about. We sometimes forget about that relationship and we focus on every other thing. All those other things are good. That part is even more important, because you will hear many times good housewives, good women who take care of their house very well, take care of their children, cook the good food, yet their husband are out there. Why are they out there looking for others? Because that need is not being catered for. That their romantic need, that their sexual need, that their feeling of being there, of still being a man, is not being met. And you, as a wife, you want to make sure that need is still there. And they also, you find women and the same thing are out there. Why are the women out there? Because they are not meeting that need. Their spouse are not meeting that need. So as a couple, una want to make sure say una still date each other. Una still be friendship, still be very good to each other. Because for date, una get for be friends. And so una want for make sure so una relationship is still intact. So una get for to do relationship check all the time. And once una do the relationship check, my sisters and my brothers, una get for be honest. Una do relationship check not to accuse one another, but una do relationship check to bring una together. So if una talk about una relationship check, una know the talk about third parties, una talk about una two. What I mean, I say, when some person wants to say, like the man, the bed, the bedroom things, they need to work fine. Instead for talk about what's going on with the man. You don't sleep with other women, or you don't see other women, then, or you don't do other men, them, or you don't do other men, then. No, una not get for the talk so. Una talk get for be on una two. What is going on between you? What is lacking? What you need to fix? That is what you guys need to be talking about. That is what you guys need to be talking about. So that you can fix the problem and continue with having a healthy relationship with one another. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. We want to be doing those relationship checks time and again. That is one. The second other thing is that you guys need to create a culture. You guys need to create a culture that involves both of you in how you deal with certain things, to not make things go crazily before you try to fix them. I'll give you an example of culture. There are some culture that people have said no matter how angry they are, husband and wife, they must still sleep in the same bed. No matter whether they are fighting or not fighting, if they are in the same town, if they are in the same house, except if one person has traveled, but if they are in the same house, they must sleep in the same bed. That is what couple does. That is one culture. And that culture is very good, because sometimes when we get angry with our spouse, we stand for sleep away. You see people stay in the same house, but they sleep in 2 different rooms. And man, not lie, una. The farther away una stay from each other, the more difficult it is to amend and to fix that problem wey make una go apart in the first place. So una get for make am maybe so. Now a culture that. Another culture is some family make it sure that before they separate in the morning, they speak to each other. I don't say just look, I say speak. Whether it's just good morning or it's just I am leaving, and you do not leave when the other person do not respond. I'll give you an example. My husband wake up in the morning. Even if I am sleeping as how? It's our culture. Good morning. Whether we didn't talk, whether we were not talking, no, that will not be the matter. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, till you answer before the other person left. I do the same. Those are cultures that you create in your relationship to make sure that you guys are still intact. Another thing that people do is that they create time, dinner dates, or movie nights, or weekend out. And when you're creating all these dinner dates, movie out, or weekend out, it should just be for two of you. No other third party. Una get for the create events and where they concern just you and him. Getting out of una normal everyday life. That is what those events are meant for. Una create them because anytime una do one of those things, it bring una relationship back together and una become even more stronger. Another thing is that people look for hobbies. Is it a sport or a game or something where they would do together for make and make the relationship be always having something to do with each other. Another one is working together. Create projects together. Do things together. Something that you both has to be working on it together. Because all these things that I name, they help una forget something to talk about out of the normal daily life. Because every normal daily life, when I talk about picking them, the one is school fees not there, so and the one not do that one, and that one not do that one. When I forget something we wanna do, we go make una for come out from that una everyday normal talk to something where una two feet just they talk like boyfriend and girlfriends, like lovers, like friends. We una would share, talk about that. And most of the time, then once una talk something else will not be una normal daily thing, una go realize and say, una go even be more open to each other. And before una know it, something will be the worry una know if you fix them for normal time, una go talk about them freely without hurting another person feeling, without getting angry. And before una know it, that problem is solved. That is what I'm talking about, the heat in a relationship. Una want for make sure, say una relationship be checked and be intact. Once una relationship there like that, una go feel easily keep that una heat together. That is what I'm talking. Because again, if una let that heat cool down, it will be very difficult for steam and back up. That is why once you feel like it's not hot enough, una talk about them, una try to fix the problem. I know that after having kids and all that stuff, the flame might not be burning the same way, but it should still be hot in its own way. That is what I'm talking about. Thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know what are the things you do to make your marriage a happy one. What are some things you do to make your heat in your marriage keep flaming, keep hurting without cooling down? Also, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you now. Bye.